Hi, welcome to Messy Missy Creates. This is Melissa. I'm going to finish this journal. This is if you saw the last video, you saw part one. I should have put part one on it. I did not. Anyway, this is how it turned out. And I think it's looking pretty good. I'm going to, later, I'm going to put this piece of wide white rickrack. Yeah. That was a mouthful. Anyway, I'm going to put that on there. Not right this second. I'm going to put pockets in, and then I'm going to bind the journal. So I had a couple of blueberry pieces left over, just the small ones from here. Normally I would use those as my pockets, and I thought about it, but I think since we already decided on this piece, I'm just going to give her these pieces and she can use them on her pages for a tuck or something like that. And I'm still going to go with this blue, I keep wanting to say houndstooth. It's buffalo check, I think. Anyway, I need to measure. I'm fumbling. Okay, stop fumbling. I'm just going to do an inside pocket. She only wanted one. So I'm looking at, not quite 6 1/4. Let's see, that would be 6 3/16. Yay for measurements. And then I think I'm going to make the pocket 4 inches deep. This would only be not quite 3. So I think I'm going to make them 4 inches. Or make it 4 inches. I can always trim it down if I want. I'm going to put the little, remind me when I get to that point, go, hey, don't forget to put the little thumb hole in it. So, what did I say? 6 3/16. Oh, mercy. By 4. Okay. Let's see. I have this and I have this. Uh-oh, I just knocked over my noisy scoreboard. Here we go. All right. So let's do I always do this backwards. Always, almost always. This one has 2 of these you can pull out. You don't have to have both of them, but okay. So I'm looking at 4. So I'm going to do 4 on this, 4 this direction. And then that way I have that, that size piece. And what did I say? 6 3/16. That's pretty close. And it does not have to be exact. If it's too big, that might be a problem. If it's too wide, then you run into your spine. If it's too, okay, now that might be too deep. No, I like it. I think by time, let me get my hole punch. I should have gotten that to begin with, and I did not. Let me find in my little treasure chest of hole punches. Let me find I've got this. Hopefully it's a good one. It's a 1 inch ruler. Ruler. Okay, so I'm looking at, and I do have a 0 ruler, that Tim Holtz, the centering one, but I don't need to get that precise. I just need it right about this white strip right here, and that's kind of what I was thinking. So that'll sort of be centered-ish. Yeah, because there's 3 blue stripes on both sides, and that looks perfecto to me. There. All right. And these are cute if you use them, throughout the journal. You can use them as a little tab or whatever. Oh, we have a train. Okay. I think that looks pretty good. So, oh no, I don't have my, well, I'll use this. I made a card last night and I took my art glitter glue with my fine tip into the other room. This has a fairly fine tip. Oh, I think it was clogged last time. Or maybe I didn't cut it enough. I can't remember if I've used this or not. Well, drats. I don't think that has a, I don't think I cut it all the way through. And I'm so afraid to cut it too big. I got it at an angle. Let me see if I can find my needle. Yeah, I'm thinking I don't have it. I don't think I have it punched all the way through. All right, let's try it again. Nope. Wow, that had a thick, I'm getting there. A little bit more. I'm so afraid to cut it too thick or too deep. I guess that would be the right word. This is an art glitter glue. This is art glitter glue. It's just in a different bottle. Okay, I think I have a hole. Maybe. Yeah, I'm touching the glue with the needle, so I have a hole now. It's just a matter of, can I convince it to come out? Oh, here we go. I think I have a, well, what's a video without a little clog glue? Let me get my pokey tool out. That was not the original problem. The original problem was I did not have a hole. I thought I had a hole, but I did not. Let's see. Let's see if I can. Well, how long are we going to fiddle with glue here? Come on. I really don't want to. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. I'm just trying to wallow a hole, as they say. I probably should go in that way, but I really don't want to. I don't want to get glue all the way up my pokey tool. I'm gonna see if, there we go. All right, sorry about that. You know, real life, right? Everything you see on videos, if it's all edited out, then, you know, what fun is that? And I'm trying to get right up to the edge so you have the, allows for the largest pocket space possible. And I don't, once I get it on here, I don't, the idea is not to shift it. Well, I'm going to have to a little bit. Okay. Well, I shifted it a hair, and then I'm going to push those two in just to where that buckles up just a little bit. Boy, that stuff dries quick. Oh, now it doesn't want to stop coming out, of course. Well, that side wants to push in, but this side doesn't. Okay. We have a bona fide pocket. Well, maybe I can make a tag or something out of that. That would be cute. That would be cute. So I don't have to, I'm trying to think, do I want to do the ribbon before I guess there's no reason to not, as Mater on Cars says. There's no reason to not to. Let's see, other than if our glue decides to work or not work. The only reason why I would wait is because I kind of want to see if I need to move it over more. Because I want to hide, yeah, I'm going to wait. I want to hide as much of that cardboard as I can. and I think that it would be best to wait. So now I'm doing the 16 pages just like I would for my monthly journal. And so we have 1, 2. I'm hoping that the black edging on here doesn't come off, doesn't stay on the paper, I guess. 4. Not sure how many pieces I have left on this. 5, because I've already made a journal or 2 out of it. 6. 7. 8. I guess I could have done this beforehand. 9. Okay, so if you're using this paper pad, 10. So pulling it this way is, if you've watched me make my June journal, you saw where I had a lot of that black, the rubber stuff or the adhesive. It stuck to my pages that first, in May, I think. And doing it at an angle, pulling it that way was better than pulling it out. I was more afraid I was going to tear the paper. Okay, so I think we still have 10, so I'm going to go ahead and fold. And try to get them as straight as I can. No, we're not. And again, they don't butt right up against each other, so they're not going to be, it's not going to be noticeable if you don't get them perfect. 2. This part is more exciting when you have like fun pattern paper or whatever. And I have done this to where when I've made my, when I've made my monthly journals, there was one time or a couple times I've done it to where I've, like any inking or like dyeing or paper smushing, ink smushing, whatever. Sometimes I have been known to do that before I put the journal together. But, sometimes I don't like to be locked into the ink color choices when I go to actually make my page for that day. Sometimes I don't like to be locked in. The one advantage is you don't have to worry about it bleeding into anything else. So, there's that advantage. So, you can do them. And, sometimes I want to do it. Sometimes I just want to get the journal made. And sometimes I like to play first. But with this paper, I've had a lot of success with not having as much bleeding, and that's why I chose this paper, and the fact that it's 12 by 9, so I can have a 6 by 9 journal, or 6 by 9 pages to work with, because my preferred size is like about 7 by 10, and I did find a way to do that, but I kind of grew to like this size journal, and it works perfectly with my Triscuit boxes. Okay, I think I had 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So I need to, just need 6 more pages. So, I did get, I think I mentioned in the last video, I did get my printables listed. I've only got 2 in there. I did list the ones that I'm using for June. The kind of bright colors or pastel colors with the book text around the background. Let's see. These, I got these listed. I haven't listed the days yet. I need to go back and add those. But I did get these numbers listed. I know some of you had an interest in those. And, I went ahead and put 12 together so you don't have to cut out the 2-digit numbers. You don't have to cut them out separately. You can cut them out together. And you don't have to print it so many times. So, I got that, and then I got the ones that I made for July that I'm going to use for my July journal. I got those listed, and it's like 4 pages. It's got a calendar and the numbers, days of the week, and then it's got like some firecrackers and popsicles and it's very patriotic. I do realize that it's kind of U.S. specific, or, well, I guess if your country is red, white, and blue, then it might work for you too. But, you know, with July 4th right around the corner, I just tend to like to use red, white, and blue for July. Maybe that's silly, seeing that how it's only one day out of the month that we celebrate that, but I don't know. I like the colors too. And let's see, I need 2 more. Yeah, doing this out, tearing them off at an angle is definitely helping not to get that black adhesive on the edges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this will be the last one. So, have you started making your July journal? How many of you are doing junk journal July? Raise your hand. I, in theory, would like to. Of course, I was going to do the iCAD too. I did 1 day of it. And I don't know. I would have done better if I wasn't trying to follow the prompts. And kind of the prompts sort of threw me for a loop right off the bat. And I've learned that I struggle when it comes to doing things the first week of the month. I keep saying I'm going to do the prompt week with from Lydia at February and June. And something always seems to happen, and I actually did get the prompt week, her little icons printed out in June, and I even glued them in my page. I think I did 1 or 2 of them, but I did them way after the fact. Okay, almost done. This makes for a very thick, doing 16 pages in one signature, it makes for a pretty thick signature, but I like the single signature. You know, I thought about it, and with as much stuff as she's going to be gluing in here, it might have been a good idea to do 2 signatures, but I really just want the single signature. And there's going to be a tie, so I think it won't gator mouth too much. I think it will be just fine. And then, you know, you have some, you know, again, you can trim these down, but I think it kind of looks pretty neat. It's very handmade. Well, I can do it this way, and you don't see the rough edges so much. So I'm going to just trying to get them. I've got one that's wanting to stick up a little bit. There we go. Nope. Well, that helped. I wonder if one page is just a hair. Oh, you know what? I'm wondering. That's weird. I'm wondering if one, yeah, I think so. Maybe one group of them is a hair shorter than the other, because I took them out of 2 books. Isn't that weird? I can barely see it, but I can see it. Okay, so I like these clips. They did leave a little bit of a mark on the last time, but maybe they won't. Yeah, they do leave a little bit of a mark, but I think it'll be okay. I don't know where my big paper clips are. I have some of them. I just don't know where they are right at the moment. So now I'm going to try to go through, just like I did with my June journal. I'm going to go through everything all at one time. And I did mark. I have a marked here. I'm not pre-poking the holes, if that makes sense. Actually, I can. But what I really want to do is just kind of make a little bit of a mark. I made this by having a sheet the same height as my book, and I folded it in half long ways, folded in half that way, folded in half again, and then half again. And then I picked the one in the middle, the fold in the middle to make a hole, and then I picked the top two. If you need a 5 pamphlet stitch, you can pick the other 2 as well, but these only need 3 of 5 hole, 3 hole, 5 hole. Well, okay, I was gonna say I did write a T on the top, but it's not gonna matter a whole lot if I punch through them at the same time. I just kind of want it to get them sort of straight or sort of even. So if let's pretend for a second that I do punch through here. How confident in my hole poking am I? Okay, poke there. And in an ideal world, I have my fingers, yeah, like that, and not where it will come through. I hope you can see. And you know, I probably do this a little bit different every time, but the goal is to have the holes come through right on that fold. You know all this already. I just want it to kind of get an idea of how lined up they were. And they're lined up pretty good. Pretty good, pretty good. As a matter of fact, I hate to use the word perfect, but, oh, no, okay. A little bit straighter. Okay. So I don't have to poke them at the same time. I can poke them individually. And you can use a book to poke down into if you want. But the biggest thing is you want to go straight in. You really want to try to avoid an angle if at all possible. Okay, so I need to add I need to clip these on here. And yeah, I'm doing this backwards from what I normally do. I normally clip it all on at the same time, and then, you know. Let me get that in there evenly. Nope, that's not right. Okay, well, let's just take it all off. It will line up fine because I've already got the holes in there. And I really just shouldn't worry about it, but I'm gonna worry. There we go. There, I keep saying there, but I don't stop. That fabric is a little slippery. All right, I think I got it close. I'm just putting them on the top. There we go. Now I'm going to take my thread. Don't do it that way. Do it, watch one of the other videos that I do. I did it better. I do better when I go through them at the same time. It's a lot less fiddly than what I just did. Well, okay, here we go. I always pull the wrong string. Is there a right string? Now, how in the world is that supposed to come off with it all braided up like that? I hate taking these off because then you have a mess, but I'll wrap it up on something. I'll figure it out. But I just needed some string, and I don't want to fiddle with it all day. Let's see. I need to cut that because there's a little knot right there. Although that could work in my favor. 1, 2, 3. And a little bit for good measure. And have a big needle that I cannot seem to get a hold of. And here we go. Alrighty. Now I usually take one of these clips and clip it here just so that I don't accidentally put the hole through. Okay, here's the tricky part. Because now I can't see. Yep, I definitely should have poked them through. I can feel it, but I can't see it. Pardon me for just a second while I undo this so I can start this. I just couldn't see the hole. And given the fact that you have to start from the outside, I couldn't see the hole. If you want your strings on the outside, you have to start from the outside. If you do not wish to have your strings on the outside, and now I might want to go through the same hole. Let me try that again. The fabric heals back over very quickly. There we go. All right, I just needed a starting point. And once you get the first ones in, the alignment doesn't really matter. There, see? Now it will be aligned. It will be just fine. I'm going to put that clip back on just for a second so that I don't drop everything. This might be one of the most fumbly books I've ever bound. But it will turn out just fine. So, if you wondered, my preference is to, especially if you're just doing one signature, is to put them in, to go through all of it at the same time. And then you don't have to worry about lining everything up, right? Okay. That would be my preference. Alrighty, but guess what? We're almost done. We are almost done. Not super sure I'm back in the same hole, but I'm not so sure that will matter a whole lot. All right, now I'm gonna take this off, and you know the drill. You know what's next, right? And I take all my clips off when I go. I know I see other people that don't, but when I have all three, when I have them all done like that, I take them off, and then it lets the paper shift a little bit so that you know you have it good and tight and in the center, and it's good and straight. And I've got one thread on one side of the, what do you call that? My threads here. And I'm going to make a couple of knots. And then I'm going to leave enough string on that if she wants to add some beads or just do a bow, I'll probably do a bow right here because I always do. And it always comes off. I mean, it always comes out. I did not make sure that the strings were even, but if you're going to do like a tassel or a bow or something like that, sometimes it's fun to have them uneven, but you can always trim them. And so, see, looks pretty good, huh? All right, so now I can glue on the rickrack. I already trimmed this end a little bit. And I'm gonna do like that. That also hides, if you have, like if you have a seam, if you use paper and, you know, you have a seam that you want to hide, this is a great trick for that. Yeah, it's a great trick. I think I'm just going to do my bead of glue right down here. And this can be a decent size bead of glue. It doesn't have to be as thin as like a pocket or whatever. This is thick rickrack. So I have, you know, you obviously don't want gobs, but you want enough to hold it on, right? Okay, now I can push on it. You know what? I probably should have used Fabri-Tac. Yeah, duh. Let me get that. I had it right here too. Let me get that started. And, uh-oh. I got a glue blob all over my fingers now. And now I have string stuck to my fingers. Okay, I'm gonna turn that upside down just in case I need it. But art glitter glue usually will hold a lot of things. So we're gonna see. Yeah. Now I'm going to take, now I'm not, okay. It's a good thing that art glitter glue dries clear, because I just totally put that on the back. Okay, so I'm gonna let that dry. That actually will act as a fray stop. So I'm just gonna let that dry. And it clearly was not going to hold that rickrack on. So I'm gonna let that dry while I get out my eyelet puncher thingy. All right, I got the hole. Which size am I? 3/16. Let me look at my, I did not wax that thread either, but I don't think that will be a problem. Yeah, I think it needs to be the wider one. Here's my other one. Okay. What are our other options? 1/8. Maybe it's better to start small and then go up if we need to go up, I think. Well, maybe there's a way to do this. Oh. I'm thinking that, well, perhaps I could look on the package. There's a thought. Or not, because I don't know where the package is. All right, I'm going to start with a small hole and then work my way up. Again, I'm letting this glue dry, so this is the back. I'm glad I noticed that. This is 9 1/4, so let's see. Half of 9 would be 4 1/2. And I'm thinking like right here. 9 1/4, you would take half of 9 and then half of 1/4 if you don't want to do all that fun journal math. So 4 1/4, and then I'm going up 2 more little dots. I just want to find center. So I went 4 and not 3/4, 4 and what would that be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, it would be 6/16, so that would be Would that be 3/8? Yeah, I think so. Okay. Well, anyway, something like that. I never did like fractions. Okay, so remember yesterday, I think it was yesterday I was making this video. I was talking about needing to put some fray stop on it. So that actually worked. And it dries pretty quick, and it dries clear, so you can't tell that it's there. If it bothers me, I can go back, and if I can find some more of that rickrack, I can add it down the back as well. I do need to make sure that my thing is glue-free, because I don't want to get glue on the front of the journal. Okay. Looks pretty good. You know, it's never perfect, right? So, what did I say? After I did all that measuring, and 4 in that one. There's 4 1/2, and then there's 1/2 1/4. And I'm gonna do the top one first. How far in do I want it? Probably, I probably just want it in 1/2 inch, I think. Maybe 3/4 of an inch. Maybe that would work. Let me do that and see how I think that will look. Do we think that'll look good, or is it better? Yeah, I think it's better where I had it the first time. If I can get that off. Okay. So that's at 1/2 inch. Yeah. Right. So that will be right there. Yeah. So it's thick. It's not gonna come through. All right, I'm done with my needle. Put it up so I don't lose it. All right, so I'm going to start with my smallest hole, and I'm starting with the front cover. I also had to make sure it cleared. Oh yeah, that's right. We don't want it in any further because it'll get in the way of the pocket a little bit. So yeah, so we want it kind of right on the edge. And I know you can't see this. You know what? I'm questioning myself here. Yeah, I don't want to put it any further out though. It's gonna have to be there. Oh, did I just bump you? I'm sorry. I don't do a lot of eyelets, so I'm a little nervous. Not gonna lie. So I just want to make sure that they're going to be even. Let me get this first one in. And then I think that looks pretty even. Let me measure from, oh, I just bumped all my lights, all my everything. Okay, so that is actually 4 1/2. How did I mess that up? That's all right. 4 1/2 from that side. And yep, it was just a hair off. 4 1/2 from that side. So let me erase that one. And then I want it 1/2 inch in. And that looks like it's right at about 1/2 inch in. So it will be like a fraction off, but we needed it a little higher so that it would definitely clear that pocket. So I'm going to, I don't know if you can see it, but I can see that they'll line up. So I'm going to go ahead and punch this hole while I have it out. And where you punch the hole matters too. I mean, like if you're in the center of your dot or to the left or to the right, I mean, if you're getting fractions of inches, that matters. And now we're going to do it again with the bigger one. Okay. Well, I kind of figured that, but you can always go up. You can't really go down. So I just want to make sure this is pretty good and centered. And I know that you cannot see that, but I can see it pretty well. Because that's just a pretty big hole. If your eyelet ends up being smaller. Before I punch the other one, I want to make sure. Yep, perfect. Okay. If I still had the package, it probably would have told me it was 3/8 and not 1/8, or 3/16 and not 1/8. Pretty close. It's not perfect, but it's pretty darn close to, well, it's close. It'll be just fine. When it comes down to it, you won't see it. All right, so now I need the bigger one of these, right? Oh, that is the biggest one. Yep, there we go. Like I said, I don't do eyelets a whole lot. And you got to get real down and dirty with them. Alrighty, there we go. We got one. That's the back. Maybe I should have started with the front. My theory is if you start with the back one, then if you do mess up, then you can correct your error on the front, right? All right, that looks pretty good. And they're not real visible. They just blend in. I'm glad that they fell right in the middle of the white and not a blueberry. Although that would have been cute too. You just would have definitely had to get it centered, huh? Now she can take and put stickers or some sort of little something if she wants to hide those. But honestly, when we get the ribbon on it, now let's see how long we want this ribbon. When you get the ribbon on it, you're not really going to notice it that much. See, it's gonna hide a lot. So I want to leave enough room. Yeah, that would be good. Let's see, what is that? This is the eyeball it method. I was thinking about a foot. A foot, and maybe let's give ourselves 1, 2, 3 inches or so to have enough to tie it and still have a foot left. Remember, you can always cut some off. It's a lot harder to add it back on. So I don't know how you that do this on a regular basis, I don't know how you do it. I guess you could make a knot here. Let's try that one. Like make a knot here so that it doesn't go through. I don't know if you can make that big of a knot, because that was a pretty big eyelet. Let's try a couple, because that would be my preferred method. And then, if she wants it a different way when she gets it, she can, I'll leave enough ribbon there that, if she wants to tie it differently when she gets it, she'll be able to do that. So and I don't want to say your name, but I know you're watching. when you get this, if you don't like that, you can tie it, okay? You can tie it around that, but, you know, you may not like that knot right there, but if you don't like it, you can cut it right here, and then she's really crafty, so, I have all the faith in the world that you'll figure out what to do with it. So, yeah, I allowed for like a foot and about 3 inches, I think. Foot and 1, 2, 3, something like that. How is that for precise measurement? And it just depends if you like, because the knot kind of hides the back side of the, what do you call that thing? The eyelet. Hides the back side of the eyelet. So it's just a preference thing. You can, you know, decide for yourself. Now, if you start tying it real tight, I mean, I guess there is a chance that these can go through. I have seen people, like, put a button or something on here and get really creative with it, but I'm just wanting them to stay on. I know that she's crafty enough that, you know, she can, if she has a way that she wants them on there, then she can do that part too. And I'm not even going to cut that. I'm not even going to trim those. I'll let her trim them. But looky here, looky here. So when it gets real thick in the mouth like that, you can just tie it shut. Just like that. Okay. But first, remember we didn't put the ribbon on the inside. Okay. I gotta remember. And now I'm kind of glad that we didn't, because I would have left too much of the cardboard showing. So I'm glad that I didn't do that. Let me get this close. And I'm going to run, I am going to use, the art glitter glue should be fine for this. And I don't want gobs of it because I don't want it to come through the ribbon, but so I'm just putting it right up to the edge of the paper so it doesn't interfere with the pocket or anything like that. Okay, scooch in. There we go. So all the cardboard is covered, and then when it dries, I'll just come back and snip that little section off. And I can feel the glue through the ribbon, so I want to let it dry before I do the other side. But I can go ahead and get my ribbon cut for the other side. And I found that ribbon at Michael's, by the way. This paper came from Hobby Lobby. The buffalo check, it comes in a multi-print, like red, gingham, green, black. The black, it's not gingham, it's buffalo check. It comes in blue, red, green, and black, like in a multicolor pack. This I got at Michael's, but I don't know if they sell it anymore. And then this fabric right here I got at Dollar Tree. And then this ribbon I found at Michael's. So hopefully that will stay down. I'm not sure if I got, it's sticking where I had glue. I might need to do Fabri-Tac for that. I surely didn't want to, though. I really did not want to. Because it's way more globby and less controllable than art glitter glue. I think I just didn't get glue right here. So we're gonna pretend that that was the problem. And I think I can flip and go ahead and glue this one down. Let me make sure that didn't stick to that paper. And hopefully she will send me a picture of it when it's finished, and I can let you know Maybe it would be okay with her if I inserted the pictures that she sends me in a video. I mean, it won't be, you know, anywhere close to when I air this video. But maybe I can do like an update, recipe journal update video, like a picture in one of my videos. How's that? There we go. Alrighty. Yep, that's working. I think I just didn't have glue on that half of the ribbon. So what do we think? I think I better put the cap back on my art glitter glue. And I mean, I know it's hard because it's not, you know, we're not getting to see the absolute finished product, but I'm wanting to make one of these for myself. I have been wanting to make one of these for myself for a long time. And I just wasn't sure. Well, for starters, I want to do it more junk journal style. So I really was looking for like an old book to do. And I want it bigger. So I've got a couple of old like cookbooks that I've chosen from. And I'll pick one of them. And, you know, do it more junk journal style. So right now, this is just, we have one pocket. And I think I'm going to give her all these little pieces. So I'll go ahead and stick them in here. And then she can make cute little tags or something with them. And I may make a tag out of this, but I'm probably going to give her some of this extra paper like that. And that way if she wants to use it in the journal. What do you think? All right, so we have a recipe journal in real time in less than an hour and 45 minutes. And had I done the spine the way I normally do it, it would have probably been about 15 minutes less. So this is the finished product. Well, not the absolute finished product, but it's finished on my end, and now I get to give it to her. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. I'm yakking away and forgot to put the rickrack on the... Looky there. Okay. Now, I'm not going to be as generous with this glue as I was the art glitter glue. I can barely get it out. Well, it's time to break open my new bottle of it. I do know that. Pardon my arms. Oh, mercy. That's like a workout. Okay. There we go. All right, I may go back and touch up like the edges, but I want to make sure I don't have glue on my hands, and I want to let that dry. And yeah, now we're done. And I'll trim that. Okay, still in an hour and 45 minutes. So cracker box and some paper, and voila, you have a journal. Oh, some ribbon, and if you want fabric, you could have totally done this out of paper. But I do like the ribbon. I mean, the fabric too. And I know that you're watching. If you want me to try to find another piece of rickrack to put down the back side, I can try to find. I know I have a whole roll of this somewhere. I just have to find it. And I can do it on both sides if you want me to. You can let me know what you think. And alrighty, voila, we have a journal. Now I need to make my July journal. And if you want those printables, I was going to show them to you again. If you made it this far, these are the July Printables. And I have them in my Etsy shop. You get a calendar, you get some banners and borders, the pennant banners. I know that this is very U.S. specific. You have some firecrackers, and it says 4th of July. Some stars, some more little borders and banners. You know, more stars, more, just some journaling spaces. And keep in mind, once you get this, you can print it as many times as you want. And then here are the days. They have that red, white, and blue collage background. And they're again, when you get them, the ones on Etsy are they're a little bit smaller. They come 4 to so you can print a whole month on one page. And then here's the whole month of numbers on one page. And they're almost 2 inches tall. Let's say 1.5 inches, 1 3/4 inches. Something like that. Yeah. So they're still pretty good size. And I may go back and add the big version of them too. But it just takes 4 pages to print those out. So anyway, if you want these, they're in my Etsy shop. I will list the link, but you can find it. Just look up Messy Missy Creates and it'll pull right up. I only have 2 things on there, so it's this one and my ones I use for June. And I will see you back here real shortly, and to make my July journal, and then I might do one different video that's like just something off the wall. So I will see you back in just a little while. Bye-bye.